Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by RFA Bantamweight Brian Davidson. Brian, how are you?
How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Well,
Brian, you got a fight coming up at RFA 6 on January 18th. How's training been going for the fight?
amazing. Honestly, it's doing, it's going great. I feel awesome. We're doing a catch weight, so I'm not too worried about my weight this time. Going to 35, I'm a pretty big 35er, and so, it's always a challenge. I'm not going to take the easy cut. It makes me walk around a little lower, diet a little harder for a longer period of time when I'm hitting, 35. So that extra 5 pounds does kind of help me a little bit. But I'm excited, man. The training's going well. I've been swimming, biking, running, sparring, grappling, and all of those every day, at least once, if not twice. So, doing good.
And you're going to be having a rematch against Kevin Kroom. For those who haven't seen the first fight, could you walk us through the first fight and what went wrong for you in that one?
Sure. Yeah, it was in Bellator. I forgot what number. 26 sticks in my mind or something like that. But anyways, a Bellator fight. It was here in Kansas City. It was sort of a hometown deal for me. First round, I remember just piecing him up, and I remember his corner yelling, very loudly and aggressively for him to shoot, take down, quit trying to steal with this guy, and I was just, piecing him up, just hitting, landing everything, keeping my range, doing well, kicks and punches were landing, everything was landing. So I dominated him in round one. In round two, we come out, and I'm same thing, it's just, I'm killing him again on the feet, everything's looking good, and he finally starts shooting takedowns, and so what I remember is, him shooting a takedown and me stuffing a shot, landing in his guard or half guard or something like that, literally just like pushing him over, and then I remember him shooting again and me stuffing the takedown and kind of turning my back and walking away and then turning back at him, and then doing that again, and then actually one more time, and then on that third time I got lazy with turning around, and so I went towards the fence, and then I turned around on the cage and recognized that he was chasing me down. So he came at me kind of like in a blitz format, and I just reacted with a push kick, right off the cage. It's something that we train a lot and do. I did the push kick, but I brought my hands down to my rib cage, both hands, and he threw an overhand right, and it connected, and buckled my knees. I went to my knees and hands in turtle position, or I guess knees and elbows. And he jumped on me, he got a rear naked choke, secured it, and stretched me out, and I tapped. So that's how that fight went down. I was dominating it, winning the fight, looking great, and then got caught. Just being lazy, really, just not thinking.
From then until now, how much do you think you've improved? And if you've seen any film on him recently, how much do you think he's improved since last time you guys fought each other?
Yeah, I'm, at the time, I don't even think I was qualified to be a Bellator fighter, honestly. Not saying Bellator has bad fighters, I just don't think I was deserving enough to even be in that arena. And I think I was, a decent stand-up fighter, and, take down the fence was, third grade level. And so can I fight? Sure, but did I deserve to be on that kind of a platform and stage at the time? I don't think so. Now, I feel I'm ready for the UFC. So the growth between me then and me now is I'm a completely different fighter. I can attribute a lot of that to my gym and the attitude switch that our gym and the people that are training at the top level in our gym have gone through. And James Krause and Tim Elliott being my number one training partners. Tim Elliott's a 25 flyweight in UFC, and I believe he should be the champion within the next year if he gets the opportunities. And Krause is on his way back into the UFC. He's just smashing everybody in RFA right now. And he's on a 6-fight win streak. So, with those guys training with me every day, I've worked on all my holes. My wrestling hole, I feel, is I can wrestle now. I can offensively wrestle and defensively wrestle, and that wasn't even in existence in my game back then. Jiu-jitsu-wise, I'm a blue belt. I'm a solid I would consider myself a beginner purple belt level jiu-jitsu, so that's pretty solid. And then, my striking is my forte. So, I mean, I feel I'm a complete fighter now. And I didn't have that back then. That's just 2 years ago, I think. Krim, I don't know. I've watched a couple of his fights. I haven't seen his game change very much. He's aggressive and he brings it. He comes at you. He tries to shoot, and it's usually double leg to the cage. That's his deal. Just tries to drive you all the way to the fence and get his takedowns off the fence. And to me, that game is 2 years old. You got to evolve with the times, and I don't feel that his game's evolved with the times very much. And I'm not trying to play him down or anything like that. I'm just saying that everything I've seen, he fights the same way he did. It's just maybe more aggressive, more experience. He's got more ring experience now, so his confidence might be better and higher. But other than that, I really don't. I don't see his technical skills getting much better. I'm sure his wrestling's a little better being down at Jackson. Those guys seem to all wrestle pretty good and scramble pretty good. Their cardio's always good. But I expect that out of anybody I fight. So.
Without revealing too much, of course, what's going to be your game plan going into this fight? Because is it going to be just basically the same game plan you used in the first fight, except obviously not make the mistake, or are you looking to change it up a little? What exactly are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much because
sure.
I'm not sure if he's listening in or
sure.
whatnot. But I can tell you that I always am an exciting fighter to watch. That's one of my attributes, I think, and that's hopefully one of the things that gets the big shows looking at me is the fact that I bring it. So I like to have fun out there. I like to bring a high pace, high energy, and it's just excitement. And I love to stay on the feet. So I would love to repeat what we had going, except this time I'd like to knock them out, and finish it. So I'm not saying that's my strategy or game plan. I'm just saying that's the kind of fight I'd like to be in. A nice, crowd-pleasing, knockout fight. I'm not interested in trading shots with him and being a Forrest Griffin, whatever. What's that guy? I can't even think of his name right now.
Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, I'm not looking to do a Bonner Griffin fight at all. I'm not interested in trading shots like that. I'll fight way smarter than that. But it is exciting to watch that, but I would fight way smarter than that. But I would love to be, the offender in a situation like that. So I'm always looking to knock you out, and I'm trying to do it in the first round. So it's going to be exciting, good pace. So that's about all I can say. I got a game plan. I'm not going to reveal it with you. Sure.
Is this a rematch that you've wanted for a long time, or is it just a coincidence that RFA, decided to offer him to you? And
No, I hadn't even thought about it. I consider Kevin a nice kid, and he's come and trained with us. When he fought Ramiro Hernandez, he came and trained in our gym while he was in town to kind of get ready and whatnot. So he came in and we did some work together. And for that fight, I think I cornered him or was near his corner or something like that before that fight. I fought Ramiro too, or Junior Hernandez. But no, man, I didn't even think about this fight anymore. I figured my losses that are out of weight class are just losses out of weight class. Those aren't ones I'm interested in revenging, and I've never lost in my true weight class against fighters that are truly a 35er. I don't feel like I've lost. Even with Danny Tins, I feel like I beat him too, even though I lost the decision there. If we fought again, I think I would smash that guy. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. No, I hadn't thought about it. I don't even think about rematches. I have 3 losses. One's to a true 35er, the other one's to 2 guys who fight at featherweight or higher. And Kevin kind of plays around with both, but most of his fights are at featherweight. So it's just a coincidence, I guess, with the RFA.
And now this fight for RFA, is this just because they inherited your Titan contract when they purchased Titan Fighting Championships, or is this just a whole new deal with RFA?
Yeah, I don't know that side of it, man. They just they hit me up, and asked me to fight, and I of course said yes. So it could be, because I was a Titan fighter, that happened. I don't think I wasn't signed with Titan.
Oh,
so I wasn't under contract with Titan. I'm a free agent even now. I'm not under contract past this fight with RFA. No one sent me any multi-fight deals. my heart and soul is I want to get in UFC this year. No offense to RFA or Titan or any other show in the world. It's just I want to play in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I just think I'm ready for that. At least ready to test myself, so I can at least quit thinking about it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I can move on to the next chapter. But anybody they put in front of me right now, I don't care who it is. I'm just going to go out there and do what I do. Fight at the level that I know I'm capable of, and hopefully walk out of there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Brian, I'm curious. Before you fought Jens Pulver, that fight actually was your first fight back after you had retired. I'm just curious, why did you decide to retire, and what brought you back to the sport?
Good question. I retired because my wife and I were expecting a son, and I wanted to kind of close that chapter of fighting in my life. It was like, cool, I did that. Fought pro. That was a goal of mine to turn pro, and kind of legitimize my martial arts. You know what I mean? And because I'm a taekwondo guy, and taekwondo guys are historically known for not being well-rounded fighters, and I wanted to prove that I am a well-rounded fighter, even though I'm a taekwondo guy. So that's kind of why I retired. I was like, cool, I did that. Got my son now, and my son was born, and I was still training every day, getting all my guys ready, and they offered that fight to me, and I was like, at first was kind of like, man, if I don't take this fight, they're going to offer it to somebody else in my gym that I'm training, and right now in the gym, I'm kind of beasting everybody, so I better take that fight. And so I took it, and it worked out well.
Mm-hmm. You're on a 5-fight win streak right now. It seems like every fight you're getting better and better. How have you been able to put together such a nice win streak?
I think it's attitude, for real. I think the mental game is such a high part of mixed martial arts. People don't realize that. Both guys in the cage are pros. Both guys are in shape. Both guys have gone through camp. Everybody's, doing everything they're supposed to do physically. But it's the mental game when you get in there. Like, what do you think's going to happen? What do you believe is going to happen? And, can you visualize yourself doing this? And now get out there and do it. Apply it. You know what I'm saying? I think that, and it's probably because of my age, honestly. I think I'm smart enough now because of my experiences in life. It's just get out there and do it. It's like, don't doubt yourself. Don't second guess. Go out there and smash that guy in front of you. He wants to beat you. Smash him. It's not even an option. You know what I mean? Just go win. Mm-hmm. Go do what you got to do. You've done everything you're supposed to do in camp. You've trained. You're in shape. You have no excuses on the table. So quit doubting yourself and get out there and smash that guy. That's the attitude switch. Mm-hmm. And I think with that kind of attitude, who are you going to lose to? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're going to lose to a guy who has a better mental attitude than you do because he brought it that day. And then you have true competition. Then it's whoever had the best day. You know what I mean? To me, that's high-level fighting. That's high-level competition in any sport. It's mental. So you got to want it. You got to absolutely want it. Look at Ray Lewis this weekend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In football, you just got to want it. It's mental. Mm-hmm. So if I feel like a beast, I'm going to go out there and be a beast. I'm going to be a hard guy to beat with that kind of attitude. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to bring it. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Krause has that attitude right now. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Mm-hmm.
Right now, everyone in your gym is doing great. Everyone's winning. One of your students, someone you cornered this past weekend, Laura Sanko, she just won her pro debut. You mentioned Tim Elliott not too long ago. He won in the UFC. You're on a great streak. James Krause is on a great streak. How good is it to be in that gym right now?
Dude, the gym's on fire. For this area, in the Kansas City area, in the Midwest, there's no other gym you can compare this gym to. And we're not, trying to be cocky or conceited or anything like that. It's just everybody in there is gelling together, and everybody in there's got the same goal, is to get better, and to be the best they can be every day they step into that gym. Tim Elliott, like I say, man, I have no doubt that he'll be a champion. He fought Dodson. He fought Dodson well. Tim was not signed to win that fight, and he comes in there, takes the guy 3 rounds. Who's gone 3 rounds with Dodson? And so now he gets out there, fights him really, really well, and then he goes and he fights Papazian. Papazian is a big dude, strong guy. He took an illegal shot at the beginning, still weathered it out, came out and won. Got a bonus for that, fought his heart out. So now Dodson's fighting for the title, and Tim gave Dodson a hard time. So how can you not think that you're almost to that level? If Dodson wins this title, then we think a couple more fights, Tim should get a shot at flyweight. So he's beasting in the gym right now. Krause is right now, he's up at Duke Rufus's camp, and he's having a great time up there with the likes of Anthony Pettis and, Eric Koch and Pascal Krause and all these tough dudes. And they're all around his weight class, getting coached by some of the elite coaches in the world, and Duke Rufus. And the fact that he's got that attitude, and he's going up there, and he's training with the best guys in the division, and that's just amazing. And they got Laura, to us, is the female version of one of us guys, She is in the NFL of the girls fighting league. She's in the top, organization. She's at the bottom of the food chain. She just did her first pro fight, but we believed with experience she's going to do really, really well at atom weight. And and we got Zach Cummings, who was just on the Ultimate Fighter. It's just, the cast was revealed today. He's on there. He's out of our gym, and so we're on fire right now. We really are for this Midwest and Kansas City, and so people keep an eye on Grindhouse. And I'm telling you, what we got going on in there is pretty contagious. It's fun, and the energy's amazing.
Now, Grindhouse, is that your gym, or are you just a coach? What is your role there?
No, I own Grindhouse. I'm a martial arts school owner. I have a traditional martial arts school called Kids to Leaders Martial Arts, and it's just a Taekwondo school. It's an American Taekwondo Association school. We have about 225 students doing traditional Taekwondo there, and then we have another building, and it's just a mixed martial arts center, and that's Grindhouse. And I own Grindhouse as well. And then James Krause is the general manager and basically head assistant coach. And we have Austin Ford in there with our striking coaches. We have Farron Otis in there as our jiu-jitsu coach, and Tim Elliott helping out on the wrestling side. We have a good group of guys that are coaching and fighting still in the game. And we have management, in-house management, and we're putting it all together pretty good.
You mentioned that your main training partners are James Krause and Tim Elliott, but who are some of your coaches? Do those guys also double as your coach as well?
Yep. Yeah, we all double as everybody's coaches. Austin Ford's yelling at us all. He's kind of like our striking coach. Austin, his background is in boxing, but he has a different approach. It's not traditional boxing. We call it creative striking. And so we're always looking for new angles and new footwork and new approaches to our striking. This whole AB, you do this and I do that is kind of out the window. And so we're trying to be, fast forward thinking on our approach on striking. So it's not textbook. What some of the stuff that you're going to see us doing is not textbook, and I think that's what's giving us an advantage. It's kind of shocking when you see it at first. And so Austin Ford is helping us out with that. My kicks, I would consider myself the head kicking coach. I'm trying to teach everyone how to kick the proper, foot position and the angles and, how to do that. I think my forte is kicking, the hands and things like that Austin's doing. And then we have Krause with the creative jiu-jitsu, the angles that he comes at with the guillotines and all these different chokes and darces and rolls and sweeps. Krause is very creative on the ground. A lot of people don't know that about him. And Timmy's wrestling and scrambling and ability to be offensive from defensive setups. So, and that's kind of what he brings to the table. A lot of his stuff is real funky. He doesn't wrestle like a wrestler's supposed to. Everything he does is against the rules, and that's everything in our gym. It seems like it's against the rules. Oh, you're not supposed to step that way. Oh, well, when I step this way, watch what happens. And so I think that attitude, man, is keeping us all. I don't know. It's just real almost futuristic. Ahead of the game a little bit. So, and we help each other out. So if I'm in there doing rounds, Krause is on the cage, hanging there telling me when I'm messing up. Get your hands up, head down, or Timmy's saying, be aggressive or whatnot. We take turns. Like right now, Timmy's not in camp, so he's coaching all of us. And then it switches around. Timmy's in camp, we're all coaching him. And so, and then we have a few guys on the sidelines that are always coaching and and screaming. So it's kind of cool, man. Very interactive.
James Krause is going to be fighting in the main event of this card. Now, how's it going to work for his corner? Are you going to be in his corner, or are the Rufus Sport guys going to take over there?
We're trying to build that strategy right now. I'll definitely be in his corner because I will be done fighting. The only way I won't be in his corner is I'm hurt or something and I can't go, So I'll be in his corner. Whether or not he's in my corner, I don't know. But Tim Elliott, I would imagine, is going to be in all of our corners, and we'll have backup warm-up people in the back. So, we'll have a couple other coaches. Austin Ford will in all of our corners. And we have about 3 or 4 guys taping hands, so we got, we got to figure it out for the most part. I just don't know necessarily who's in my corner.
I see.
I think it'll be Austin and Timmy. I just don't know if Krause will be there or not because he'll be warming up while I'm fighting.
I see. This fight's going to air live on Access TV. In the past, you've had success fighting on that channel. What is it about being on the big stage with the bright lights and all the excitement in the crowd? Do you feel that having that pressure on you makes you perform better?
I think so, man. I think adrenaline is everything. So whether or not it's on TV or just in a crowd, anytime there's energy in the room, then there's going to be energy in my fights. Like I say, that's what I do. So, when I'm warming up downstairs, I'm already thinking about the crowd and the energy and what I need to do in that cage. That's my stage. I got to get out there and bring some energy there. So, that's my thing. It's about energy. And so, it starts back from my taekwondo career. I've been competing in taekwondo since 19, I hate to say it, like 88, 89, something like that. And, as I grew in my taekwondo fan base kind of grew, if I was up next on the mat, people would then start to circle around my ring. And, and it would turn into being kind of like a mini stage, and I guess it'd be like at a jiu-jitsu tournament watching 2 high-level, jiu-jitsu guys get at it. The crowd kind of starts to surround the mat, and it, it creates an energy. Well, I've always performed well under that circumstance. That's when you're going to see the jump spin kicks come out, the jump and reverse side kicks and that kind of stuff. Whenever the crowd gets hyped, and I start feeling real loose, kind of John Jones-like, just confident, like, all right, cool, I got this. I'm in my zone. Let's go. Let's have some fun here. So, it's usually the crowd that does that, but, if it's a big stage, I see cameras and lights and things like that, it just does something inside of me. It creates my adrenaline, and I use that adrenaline in a positive way.
You mentioned that your goal is to be in the UFC, and you also mentioned that beyond this fight with RFA, you don't have a contract with them. Is that done deliberately on your part so that you don't have any contractual obligations with an organization if the UFC should come calling?
Not necessarily, because I think most smaller organizations have a UFC out. So, I'm not opposed to signing with RFA with a UFC out in my contract. So, that'd be a nice thing. I wouldn't mind it at all, actually. I'm not, I think RFA's honestly, I think they're like the next organization up, in my opinion, especially with Strikeforce, being gone. There's some other ones, but I don't think that World Series of fighting is going to last very long, honestly. We'll see, but I just don't think that's going to last. And then I think that there's a few other organizations out of the country that, I'm not really interested in fighting for. I've seen them all come up and go down and go up and go down. RFA seems to be doing, pretty sweet. And I'd like to stay with them. So I would sign with them with the UFC out, absolutely.
How close do you think you are to getting a call from the UFC? Is a good, exciting, decisive finish here what you need, or do you think it's going to take you more? What exactly do you think you have to do to get there?
Coach Shelby keeps telling me just keep winning, keep winning, keep winning. We got your tapes. We're watching you. We know you're out there. You're on our radar. You're on our radar. It's basically I'm waiting on somebody to get hurt. I think that's going to be the way I get in. I think I'm marketable in many ways. I think, of course I think that. It's me we're talking about here. But, I think the age thing is huge. I'm no spring chicken. And so most guys my age, you think, he's too old. You just look at that. And then it's like, I'm in the best shape of my life. That's the part that blows my mind. It blows my mind. So if it blows my mind, I know it has to blow someone else's mind, Look at this guy. And then it's like, look at me, and you see me fight, and you think, oh, cool, little 25, 26-year-old. Then when you add 12 years to that, it's like, no, this guy, he's pushing 40, Then to me, that kind of is a marketable area. So I would love to be the old guy that comes in and starts winning fights. So, to me, that's my... And can I hang with these kids? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe it's just because I've been doing martial arts my whole life, and it's just... I'm in shape. I don't know. But my cardio is amazing. My strength is just getting stronger. I think I'm coming into my man strength now or something. and I'm healthy. The lungs are good. My accuracy, my mind is just getting better and better mentally. I just get better. So why not fight? You know what I mean? And why not fight in the top organization? And so I don't know. Something in me is saying that the old age thing, that's maybe what's keeping me from being put in, needs to be the thing to get me in. Mm-hmm. And so I would just love a shot to show these guys, that I can hang. I can.
Mm-hmm. I see. Brian, last question. This fight against Kevin Croom, how have you envisioned the fight ending?
Me on top, ground and pound, referee stoppage.
Any specific round?
First round. Yeah, I'm not going to the second round or nothing like that. We're just going to get out there and be aggressive and go and have some fun and see what happens there. But, and then it may go in the third round. That's still going to be how I see it ending. Doesn't matter. He's tough to finish, man. Look at his record. I don't think he's been finished that many times, especially since he's actually started, taking it serious. I think, he got knocked out by Willie Mack, but I don't think he was really trying to fight back then. I think he just was one of those guys that turned pro. That was the thing to do, and took a fight and got knocked out real quick. But other than that, I think this fight, he's been in some wars, man, and I don't know. I'm just, confident. He's going to have to really kick my ass in order to beat me. It's going to be the hardest thing he's ever had to do. So, and that's just the mental thing. So, yeah, I'd like to see me on top, and probably from him getting rocked, I'll jump on top. Just finish it.
Brian, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you would like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
I appreciate you guys taking the time to get to know me a little bit here. My first sponsor I like to thank is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Wouldn't be here and wouldn't be with the skill sets that I have if it wasn't for him. And I give God all the glory for everything that happens in my life. So for sure that, man, and hopefully this platform will let people see that there's a lot of Christian fighters out there that are good fighters, that are also good people. So I'd like to thank my sponsors. I got a few of them. I don't know if I miss anybody. Well, Sharp Auto. We have Finishing Touch, remodeling, home remodeling. My gyms, of course, Grindhouse, Kids to Leaders, martial arts. And then I've got a couple other local guys that help me out here, and appreciate all you Kids City supporters, all my students in my gyms. Keep training hard and reach your goals, and never stop trying for your dreams. So that's about it, man.
Brian, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck January 18th at RFA 6 against Kevin Croom.
Appreciate it. Thank you.